everyone. Welcome to Channel 24. Today with me I have Dr. Barry Tedder, and he's here to talk to us about what a STEMI is and talk to us about the STEMI network here in our region. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start off with, what is a STEMI? I mean, that's not really a technical term people may be familiar with.
Yeah, that's just an abbreviation. It stands for ST elevation myocardial infarction. And what that is, it's the big one. It's the big heart attack. It's the one that kills people the most, 30 to 40% of the time. They don't even make it to the hospital with these kind of heart attacks. ST elevation stands for what you see on the electrocardiogram or the EKG, that people, healthcare providers can recognize that this is the big one and needs immediate attention and rapid attention.
Okay, so given that we know what a STEMI is now, explain what the STEMI network is and how it functions to benefit somebody having one of these heart attacks.
We've been working on a system of care for the last 10 years, which we've advanced to the point where now when an ambulance picks up a patient at their house and they're having symptoms of chest pain, or they do an EKG at the site of their house, and if there is this recognition of an ST elevation myocardial infarction on the EKG, they're taken promptly straight to our cath lab, bypassing emergency rooms, so that we can get their vessel open with balloon angioplasty, which is occluded usually with a blood clot. Also from outlying emergency rooms, we have, they'll activate the system promptly, and within our own emergency room we activate the system, the goal is to get the patient open within 90 minutes of the time of their onset of symptoms.
Okay, so how many EMS providers, air support, how many other facilities in the region are there?
The St. Bernard's Delta Ridge Network, which is what we're using, is we work with 12 different area hospitals, ambulance services in 10 different hospitals, as well as 4 air providers.
The goal is 90 minutes to open the door, or for the door to open a vessel. How does the regional network compare in that goal to, since you're serving such a large region, I mean, how do we compare with
to other areas of the country? Yeah, I mean, people are working on this all over the country, and we are collecting our data through American Heart Association's Mission Lifeline. And over the last 12 months, from September to September, we compare very favorably to the rest of the United States group, in that our chance of dying from a STEMI heart attack is about 65% less than the national average. So, you know, our chance of dying from a heart attack in our system is about a third of that of the national average, which is really outstanding. So we've gone a long ways in getting people to the cath lab quicker to get their vessel open and to break up the blood clot that causes the heart attack.
Okay, so when we have one of these heart attacks, what are some symptoms we should look for? I mean, I think people know chest pain, but what else do we need to look for? That's
a good question, and that is really the problem, because people often wait too long. Probably the number one symptom of a heart attack is denial. You know, just saying, it's not me, I'm not having a heart attack. They might think they're having indigestion, and sometimes it is, but often it's a heart attack, and people don't want to die from indigestion. The typical symptoms we have are chest heaviness or pressure, like a weight sitting on your chest. Can radiate to the arm or neck or jaw, break out of sweat, get nauseated and short of breath. But a lot of people, particularly diabetics, the elderly, and women, may have symptoms that aren't quite the same. They may have severe fatigue and just I feel like I'm about to die. I just feel terrible. Shortness of breath only. Sharp pain that's not the same, or waxing and waning pain that they don't know what it is. So sometimes the best way is just to be evaluated, make sure an EKG is done, and then okay, it's not, that's fine. But if it is, then you don't risk dying at home or having a large heart attack.
If they're experiencing what they think are some symptoms, what should they do?
Best thing is to call an ambulance if you're at home, because they'll promptly get to you and can do that EKG at your home and recognize that this is the big heart attack, or it's not. And if it is, then they'll activate the system and we can get take care of it quickly. If your emergency room's close by, that's another option, because they're going to recognize and activate the system as well. Really, these ST elevation MIs need to be treated like trauma. We have a time frame that we have good outcomes from. If we wait too long, and even this patient waiting too long, can lead to bad outcomes. So the sooner the patient recognizes the symptoms and we recognize it, the better we are.
Beyond the 90 minutes, I mean, you try to take care of this within that 90-minute frame. I mean, after the 90 minutes, is it just more difficult to project recovering? I mean, what? I guess explain
why 90 minutes.
Yeah, why 90 minutes?
Yeah. The studies have looked at, and as the quicker you get it open, obviously, the less heart injury and heart damage. And between 90 and 120 minutes, is where after 120 minutes, we start losing a lot of that benefit over using the strong blood thinners, thrombolytics. It used to be that everybody that came in got thrombolytics, which is the strong blood thinners that would break the clot up and, oh, they'd feel better and they're doing okay. The problem with thrombolytics has been that about half of them don't end up opening up, and we still have to take them to the cath lab, and we've delayed them waiting for those to work. And the outcomes are better with angioplasty in general compared to the thrombolytics. However, after you get over 120 minutes, you start losing that added benefit. So sooner's better, and under 90 is ideal. Under 120 is usually better than thrombolytics. So that's where the number came from, is just looking at studies and see when the best benefit occurred as far as reducing the chance of dying and not having large heart attacks.
Well, Dr. Tedder, I want to thank you so much for being here and sharing this great, important information with everybody. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And guys, I want to thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.